I would like to kindly ask the distinguished speakers of this panel to very shortly introduce themselves. Subsequently, there will be a question, and if time allows, we will ask a second question. So I will start with the Deputy Minister sitting on my right, Ms. Rapti.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kremlis. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank the organizers of our Ocean 2024 conference for this invitation. I'm the Deputy Minister of Tourism, responsible for special forms of tourism and tourism education. I would like to present to you shortly the Ministry's strategy for sustainability, which also concerns coastal and island regions. The Mediterranean is a treasure trove of marine tourism. Its beaches, islands, underwater worlds and historical sites attract millions of travelers. The Ministry's new sustainable tourism strategy includes a detailed action plan and specific targets. Our aim is to promote the sustainability of destinations, including coastal destinations. We are aiming for new mechanisms for sustainable tourism governance with new institutions and a new institutional framework that we have designed. For example, the DMMOs, the model destinations, and the Regional Council of Tourism. We also aim to effectively measure and monitor tourism activity by each region, indicatively with national and local tourism observatories and the tourism satellite account. At the same time, the Ministry of Tourism is implementing the Tourism Development Project within the framework of the RRF. The action comprises two pillars, green and blue development. In the pillar which affects coastal and island areas, we have projects to upgrade the infrastructure of tourist ports, the accessibility of beaches for the elderly and people with disabilities, and the development of diving and underwater tourism. Sustainability is not an option. It's our need, it's our obligation.
Without ado, I would like to start with the Deputy Minister. The Ministry has started a very pioneering initiative for an observatory, which is an observatory covering not only Greece, but also the Mediterranean, on tourism and on the impacts of climate on tourism and on the quality of the environment and tourism. Can you say a few words about that?
Yes, thank you very much. You give me a chance, you give me an opportunity to share with you what we do in the Ministry of Tourism for all the essential issues that you just mentioned. We have recently established with law observatory for central and marine tourism in the Mediterranean. Following the memorandum of understanding we had concluded with the World Tourism Organization, it is an important initiative of Greece with which we aspire to take a leading position at the regional level for sustainable and marine tourism. The objectives of the observatory are to measure, to collect statistics, to monitor and to evaluate sustainable tourism development in the Mediterranean region. The importance of activities of the observatory for the Mediterranean will be to develop research work and improve the competitiveness and resilience of the tourism product. It will also formulate a methodological framework for measuring and monitoring sustainable tourism development, allowing the comparison of data from different Mediterranean countries with coastal and maritime tourism. The results of the research will be shared among Mediterranean countries, enhancing the development of best practices. And it will also contribute to empowerment of human resources in coastal and island destinations through targeted training actions. The observatory will promote as well the sustainable development of the tourism sector, taking into account the consequences of climate change that you mentioned before and the protection of the environment. The Minister of Tourism, Mrs. Olga Kefalogianni, has already sent letters to Mediterranean countries inviting them to participate in the observatory. To highlight the importance for us, we have dedicated more than 1 million euros from the Ministry's RRF to finance the Observatory for Coastal and Marine Tourism in the Mediterranean.
Without ado, I am moving to the Deputy Minister. Elena, as I am coming from the island of Rhodes, you have followed the CoLab important project to turn Rhodes into a green destination. Can you tell us a few words about this?
Of course. I would like to mention the Rhodes CoLab, which is a collaboration between the South Aegean region, the municipality of Rhodes, and the TUI group, with the support of the Prime Minister, Mr. Kyriakos Mitsotakis. The aim is to transform Rhodes into the world's first holistically sustainable tourism destination. The Rhodes CoLab Sustainable Destination 2030 Development Plan is based on a holistic approach to sustainability and focuses on 3 key pillars. The first pillar is the environment, and this will be achieved with fossil fuel use phased out, with climate change adaptation actions, and achieving climate neutrality by 2030. Also with the reduction of plastic footprint, plastic-free by 2027, with the reduction of unaccounted for water to 20% by 2025, and finally with the creation of 5 zero-waste communities, and by achieving net gain in terms of biodiversity by 2030. The second pillar is society and culture, and this will be achieved with Rhodes being the first fully accessible island by 2025, with a 100% participation of tourist workers in at least 1 training program by 2027, with ensuring good working conditions in tourism by 2025, and lastly, with measures to protect the island's cultural heritage by 2025. The third pillar is economy and tourism, and this will be achieved with diversification and upgrading of the offer of local products and services, aiming at doubling the number of visitors by 2025, with increasing local agricultural production and aquaculture by 50%, and finally, with Rhodes becoming a need destination by 2025.
I would like to warmly thank the members of this distinguished panel, and to thank you all for your active participation, and to hope that our Oceans Conference will be a very successful one. All the best.